Okay, we're recording in Revit here, and I'm going to do this on a small screen just because we can keep the file size down. We'll see how this all works out when I go within here. Kind of zooming out here, I want to point out as I go underneath and push this back up, and I really don't want to get rid of the browser, so I'm going to kind of leave that over there. How much views are going to be kind of laid into laying out sheets in Revit as well. I've got laid in here, and I'll just do a demonstration of a couple things. I've got a SketchUp file brought in. It is linked, so if we go back and push this back out, if we go to the insert, I've got manage length. I've got a SketchUp file. It is relative. Someplace it is relative to where I am in this file. I'm going to check out where I am in this file. You notice I've got a couple SketchUp files, 142 and then a basic one. I've got no Revit links and no markups. I'm going to hit OK here, cancel, and I'm going to now lay out some sheets. Now I like the way this looks here, so perhaps I've got this view. I like that particular view. I can go ahead right away and I can duplicate the view. So I'm going to duplicate the view, and I'm going to call this, basically rename it to plot one view overall. So the concept of saving views, etc., camera settings that you've got, that might not be what I want. So I've got that one there, I've got one there. So when I brought it back here, I really want to make sure that I can take this one and remember what it is. If that is these, it's going to remember that. So if I go back to here and back to there, it remembers where I'm at there. I go about doing that. I might have a view level 1, I might have a view there. Realign, and I can pan underneath, go inside this drawing here. This kind of one is a certain depiction. I can all of a sudden lay this out, VV. I might want to have annotation categories. I might want to have the grid on or grid off. I might not want to have the SketchUp on there. I might want it on. Apply OK. Basically, I might have a grid something like this that I want laid out. Level 1 right away. I can go, duplicate view. You're going to see different ways, with detailing is going to set up whether or not you carry on some of the other higher order kind of definitions. All you want to do is get to the point where you can lay out some views and some sheets. And so we're going to go ahead and duplicate that. Once again, this copy of level 1, we're going to rename it, how important it is, and I'm going to go plot of level 1. A couple more things you want to get used to is when you go into this layout, I'm going to push this down here. In addition to levels and then, of course, elevation views, as I go here, right, saving different elevation views, you also want to get used to going, and when I go to view here, making other section views. And so you make your best section views by going here to the top, and we can go ahead and draw a section view from basically right there down, and it's kind of showing me which way I want that to be. I can kind of move that back in the other way or move it this way, kind of change that section view. That's another basic one. Right click, cancel, which now if I look down here there'll be additional views. There's a section view, section 1, and it gives me that section going through there. So all that said, when we get back here to views, we can basically set up new sheets, load up our new sheet. Remember, it is in the title blocks. And we're doing with 11 by 17. We're not going to play too much around with that. We're going to open that up. I hit OK here, and now from within here I can go ahead and pull in each of those views. So I'm going to pull in the section view, left click and bring it over here. Right away, cancel, that's underneath, that didn't quite do it. I'll go ahead and pull it in this time again. Pull it in, it brings it there, place it. Now you can all of a sudden, when you're there, you can go ahead and change the element properties. In other words, you want that maybe to be more like that was an 1/8, so you might want to go to a 16th. Standard. Right, and you're going to see underneath there, we'll see what's happening with that, but you can kind of go ahead and change some of that stuff there. So that's bringing in a section view. You can bring in your, remember the names of these things, plot of level 1, all kinds of legends you can bring in, schedules, quantities, etc. But we're going to bring in this plot of level 1 once again. Probably a pretty large scale, so we'll see what it's doing to us. Cancel. Zoom out here. Plot of level 1. Bring that in right away. You want to change that and change that element properties. You can probably go about changing view properties, not the view, but you have that element properties, what you're trying to change. You might need to have that at a much larger scale, or kind of crop the view, whatever you need to do. So I'm going to go to 1 inch equals 100 feet, and that's probably a little bit more of what you need. Drag that back, whatever that is, pull this up here, and you can start to see how the views come into this program. Now, obviously some setting things there in terms of readability, and probably once again element properties, detail, number, scale, display model, whether it's normal, do not display, detail, fine, levels that you're including. What you probably have here that we don't see is something to do with the text sizing. So we're going to live with that in the short term. And we will finally then go in and bring in an analytical view, plot view overall. Once again, pull that in there. Same thing. It's probably too large. You don't even see it. So you can once again right-click. Click on that. Change the element properties. Once again to some scale that makes a little bit more sense. And there it is over there. So learning how to lay out basic information, how to control it. You believe it or not, this is exactly how Sheet Manager tends to work in AutoCAD. So I'm dragging probably the wrong thing there. Kind of grab this. For now, I'll just drag it over here. Bring it in there. Kind of lay some of that up. So once again, the plotting shouldn't overwhelm you on this, but the idea of saving, when you have the settings as you like them, save the views, etc. I'll go ahead right now, that one there, I'm going to right click and delete, and I'm going to hit a button here and hit a plot. You'll see this tomorrow. Within here, just kind of realizing that you can then go through right now, I think hit here and go to your sheet, home, view, sheets, and there's where you could have grabbed actually the views. Did it that way, and I presume at this point we're going to want to hit a plot. So and we'll find out where the plot is later. Thanks for listening.